How many banks are in your area? Talk about the microfinance providers. The adoption or eligibility of accessing financial services from banks and microfinance providers, the adoption is still at a low percentage. But the current digital technologies are helping enhance financial inclusion to the individuals and entrepreneurs anywhere, anytime. JUMO is helping over 120 million people to access financial services. JUMO is a mobile financial service platform for mobile network operators and banks. The platform facilitates digital financial services such as credit and savings in emerging markets. One of their credit products, Wewole on Airtel, is impacting millions of people in Uganda, and their services thereby accessible by anyone with a mobile phone and mobile wallet.
JUMO has been in existence since about 2014, and in Uganda since 2016. What we really do in Uganda is provide financial services through the mobile money ecosystem. We are aiming to provide services to everyone who has a mobile phone, not people who have a bank account and a mobile phone, not people who are salaried, but everyone who has a mobile money account. And primarily the product in Uganda that has taken off is Wewole. We've gotten up to 2.2 million customers to date and given out about 12.2 million loans to each of those customers. The product is really a short-term credit product. There's no collateral. All you need to do is go to your mobile money menu and check and see how much you have in terms of your Wewole balance. And then you borrow, and then repayment is done on your wallet. It's near instant. I won't say it's instant, but it's near instant, and it's convenient. The vast majority of people that have used it have used them for emergencies, to meet a short-term business need, or something as simple as purchasing airtime. So Wewole is primarily on Airtel, so that's an Airtel service. We're working on one with MTN, but that has yet to hit the market. The uptake has been a huge demand, given that it's a credit product and it doesn't require collateral, which has shown us that there's a huge demand for credit. The questions that we often get through the service center are, how do I qualify? A lot of people, even who are in areas that we didn't think would hear about it, are always asking how they can qualify. So we see there's a huge demand, and we're hoping over time to be able to meet that demand.
In Africa, JUMO is serving in 6 countries. In Uganda, over 16 million people have had an impact from their financial services. Majority of these are SMEs. JUMO plans to expand the services to the other countries.
The vast majority of our customers are what we call informal businesses. That's sole proprietors, where someone owns their own business and they don't have anyone else working in it but themselves. And then there are people who have 1 or 2 employees. Those are people that primarily are using a product like Wewole. They borrow it as an individual, but they use it for their business services. Over time, that has showed us that there's a hunger for working capital. So we're trying to work to increase the amounts that can be given to those wallets. But also, because businesses can have business wallets, we want them to be able to borrow as a business, not just as an individual. So that's one of the products we have in the works. The Wewole now, I think, the longest tenure is about 60 days, so you can borrow a loan for 60 days. We're trying to expand that so that, 60 days is in ample time for a business to be able to take something and make installment payments rather than a one-off payment. So that's how we're looking at expanding it, not from micro businesses, but looking at SMEs. It's for that reason also that JUMO's expansion, currently we're in 6 markets. That is Ghana, Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, Zambia, and Pakistan in Asia. Because of the demand of our services and the performance we've had, we've reached about 16 million different businesses across the continent. We are looking at expanding into Côte d'Ivoire, into Benin, and also the very big market that's Nigeria. So we're currently in different stages of finalizing contracting there, and by 2021 we hope to have 9 active markets. particularly serving, we primarily will start with individuals, and then over time you start to service the businesses that those individuals work in.
Women in Uganda have actually taken to using this service quite a lot, because while engaging with the call centers, even on social media, we're able to see that women are taking use of these loans and using them either to top up on their children's school fees, pay up for electricity, water, and from all observations, it's actually helping them quite a lot to manage their daily activities and actually meet all their goals in the day. Besides the Wewole loan, in other countries, we had managed to look at small groups of women that are in a, say, there's a group of women in India that we're actually looking at as a sample group to be able to cultivate products which can be translated in the different territories. However, in Uganda right now, we do not per se pick up on either a circle or a women's group to facilitate. However, it's in plan, and it would be a good venture to look at.
Mojaloop is an open source for making digital payments secure and more affordable. With interoperable solutions, JUMO can do better.
Yeah, from what I've learned about Mojaloop, I think it's really a drive for interoperability. And like I've always said, the challenge that we've had is when we only look at one ecosystem. For instance, in Uganda, we only have Airtel. We don't get a full picture of all the things that people do electronically or digitally. So for us, interoperability is an open and welcome thing that we would support, because it allows us to see much more than we can currently see of what an individual does. Whether you're doing something on MTN, Airtel, K2, whatever the case may be, we want to be able to see that so that we can accurately give you a service that reflects your need. So yeah, go for it.
In Uganda, we are very good people at using digital services. We pay utilities, we pay medical bills, we pay URA taxes, and then we are very good at paying, but we can't even service a loan. Reason why, JUMO is looking at one mobile network for the data. When they're on Mojaloop, they will have a vast community to see how I transact with the whole, with the whole service platforms, the digital services, which means they'll have enough data to even lend me, even if I just need to work with a certain service financial provider. And then I won't need a certain amount of qualifications. They will be transacting directly with the financial service provider just because this financial provider is already in the ecosystem. So therefore, if I need a car, I just need to go to JUMO and then, whichever platform they belong, and then I borrow a car just because the whole data is laid out to them on how I transact. Therefore, I'm capable of paying.
Today has been the 32nd day of the 40 Days 40 Fintechs project organized by High People.
It's day 32 and it's Fintech 32 of the 40 Days for the Fintechs initiative. And the story of JUMO attests to so many facts. Some things have been said, others have been done, but they'll tell you, for example, in Uganda they are powering Wewole, borrowing products, and in Zambia they have Kasaka, differently, helping borrowing and lending money to farmers and women specifically. But I mean, their story speaks to facts like something that was said in 1994 by Bill Gates about banking, that it's actually true that banking is very necessary, but banks are not as necessary or as important as such. So today, revolutionizing and digitalizing loans and having confidence in systems and structures that allow someone to borrow money as much as 1.5 million Ugandan shillings without them ever walking into a hall, without ever being called on phone to ask them why they want the loan, but rather by being assessed and provided over time, so that the provider like JUMO under Wewole product understands that these people actually have great desire to have cash, they use it for the right means and purposes, and it makes them better as a business or as individuals. So we should increase their customer profile based on their mobile record and give them loans or credit whenever they need it. is so important for us. It is one way of ensuring that we speed up ways of achieving full financial inclusion for the world, because in the end, people see more value in using digital financial services. In the end, the only thing we have to do as stakeholders and partners to brands and enterprises like JUMO is to sell the great news about emerging technologies that help them create interoperable payment solutions like Moja Loop. Because I see them being able to serve, they say they have served more than 16 million people with loans over the last years they've been operating. And I'm sure if they were working in an interoperable ecosystem, they would have served maybe 80 million by now. So I mean, it's time and now to make sure that we collaborate, that we support, and we speak out together with them and make sure that they achieve, and we together achieve full financial inclusion for the world. Because we believe all together that an economy that includes everyone benefits everyone. We're very thankful to our partners, Modusbox, Crosslex Technologies, and Moja Loop Foundation.
Hi People is pleased to present 40 Days 40 Fintechs, an initiative under its Include Everyone program, as it continues to lead the way in advocacy for the creation and dissemination of technology that enables financial inclusivity. The inaugural 40 Days 40 Fintechs is shining a spotlight on those that are breaking down digital barriers and bringing millions more on the continent into the transactional space and transforming their lives for the better. 40 Days 40 Fintechs is presented in proud partnership with Crosslex Technologies, Modusbox, and Moja Loop Foundation.
The 40 Days 40 Fintechs project will climax with the Fintech Landscape exhibition on the 15th and 16th of July 2020. Rita Kabanyoro, Smart 24.